Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome to my channel. I would love for you to subscribe down below and join my little family here on the internet. So I'm wondering, you're probably noticing that I'm wearing the same outfit as my last video, and that is because I am filming it afterwards, and I thought I'm not going to bother changing because it's fine. I'm rocking my autumnal vibe today and we're just going to go with it. So I'm actually taking the most of this time and actually pre-filming some videos and trying to get on top of my game. Today's video is going to be me rating and reviewing my Revolution eyeshadow palettes, or palettes in general, as a couple of them are highlight or blush palettes. So what I've done is I've got them all out behind me on my bed ready to go, and I've rated them from 1 to 10, 1 being my favourite and 10 being the least favourite. But I just want to say a little disclaimer, I love all of these palettes, they're all amazing. Some of them I just haven't had the time, because I've got so many, I haven't actually had the time to spend that much time going through them all and using them all. So the ones that are probably at the end are number 10 are just ones that I have to try a bit more. So yeah, I love them all, and I love Revolution, I love their eyeshadow palettes, they're all amazing. So yeah, let's go into it with the first palette. The first eyeshadow palette is the SOPHX, the SOPHX Extra Spice palette. So this is actually the second version of her palette. The first one is actually coming up later, I'll show you that later. But this one is the second one, and it's called Extra Spice, and this is my favourite one, I'd say, because it is probably one of my most loved palettes. As you can see, I've hit pan on quite a few of these shades. This everyday shade, this one, the gold, I've hit pan on. I also love this colour called Infinity. I love this one, I think it's called Dreams. I love all the colours in this palette. The ones that I've not touched so much is like this dark one, just because I find dark cut shades a bit hard to work with. I'm not very good at that. But no, I love, and this pink, oh, my finger, this pink here called 21. I love that. Yeah, I did kind of want to swatch some of these, but I feel like I would be here forever. I may do a cutaway clip of me swatching the palettes, but yeah, I would be here forever if I went through and swatched each one of these palettes. So yeah, that's my favourite one because it is my most loved palette. I love when these palettes have mirrors in them, makes them super handy to take away with you. You can just take one of these or something like that and they fit really nicely. They're really slim, they're really good styles, and also these palettes, if you didn't know and you don't own one, they're really, really affordable. They're no more than like £10 a palette, and they're normally about £8 to £10. Palette 2 is the Imogenation palette. Imogenation, so actually I forgot to say, the SOPHX palette is from sophdoeslife. Used to be sophdoesnails, but now it's sophdoeslife. So that's from her channel. So I'm going to link both of like all the channels like that are collaborated with Revolution. I'll link them in the description. This one is Imogenation from Imogen's channel. This is my second most loved one, I'd say. This one is more like a lot more neutral shades and more orangey tones and neutrals, and then a couple of pops of colour in it as well. As you can see, I've gone through a lot of these neutral shades here, and I love that these have the middle ones have a bigger pan, so that as they're neutral colours you use more of them. So I love that she did that with her palettes instead of just having a little one. I think that's such a fab idea. As you can see, I've gone through the bright colour, what's it called? The shimmery bright colour the most, so I use that in my inner corners. I also love this colour, this red colour. I love all the oranges. I love an orange look. I actually haven't done an orange eyeshadow look in ages. But yeah, I know, I love this one as well. This is also well loved. As you can tell, it also is a bit dirty, probably could have a wash. Look at my ring light in the background. Oh! So yeah, that's number 3 is a new palette, and it's pretty good that it's come in number 3, the fact that I've only had this palette for 2 weeks. As you would have seen in my second to last video where I did my Friends Revolution testing video, I got this palette. And this, I just love it. It's got, because it had to come in number 3. It couldn't come number 1 because obviously it's not my most loved palette. There are other ones that I've used more and loved, but I love this one because it has such a wide shade range. And yeah, it's just beautiful. You would have seen it before, but I love all of the pinks, the oranges, the shimmers, and I love that it has these 3 highlights down the middle, which you could use on your eyes, but you could also use them as highlighters. So yeah, I really love that, and obviously I love that all of the names are named after all the characters from Friends. And it's just amazing palette. I love that it has a big mirror as well. Again, I love a big mirror. This one is something that I don't know, like, you could take this away with you obviously, but I love, yeah, you could take it away obviously. It's big enough that you could take it away, but I like the smaller ones a bit more handy. But I love the style of it, I love the packaging, it's just a lovely palette. So yeah, I love this one. This one was the most expensive palette. This one was £20, but it is double the size. Well, how many palettes are in these ones? There's 16 shades in those, and this one has 24. So really it doesn't have that many more, but it is a bigger palette in general, and the packaging and the whole look of it is, I think it's totally worth the extra £10. So yeah. Number 4 is the ROXI palette. ROXI again, another YouTuber, link her channel down below. This one is the COLOURBURST palette. So I did a testing video on this. I'm gonna put a playlist in of all my makeup videos, so that if you want to go and watch any of the makeup looks that I've done with these other eyeshadow palettes, you can go and do that. I love this one because it has loads of summery shades. As you can tell, I've not hit pan on any of these because I've only had it like 2 or 3 months. I love the lilac colour, the purple lilac. That was a fave for me during the summer. I was really into my lilac. Obviously now this palette's not so good. Well, no, there's nothing to say I can't use it, obviously, but a lot of the shades are very summery, although the ones down the bottom are definitely, you could use them for autumnal colours. So I definitely still will get wear out of this over the autumn and winter months. But yeah, I love this one and I want to get more use out of it. So yeah, number 4 is this one. Number 5 is another Imogenation, but it's actually a contour palette. So this one I've hit pan on lots of the colours. I'm going to put it over here because the light seems to be reflecting on this side. I think it's because the window's here. As you can see, I have hit pan on the yellow powder, which is called My Gal. That was hit pan actually ages ago. I've had this for probably 2 years, as well as the other Imogenation, all the SOPH palettes. I've had them for a good 2 years. God, I just stopped to breathe. So yeah, I love the shade My Gal. And then I'm not gonna lie, I've not used the bronzers that much just because I always end up having other bronzers, but I am gonna make it a goal of mine to use up all of these bronzers, plus I have another bronzer that I'm using currently, which I think is like a collection one or something like that, or a Rimmel one. I don't know what it is, to be fair, but I'm using that up first, and then I'm going to make it my goal to use up all of these, or as much of them as I can, or to hit pan on all of these before I buy any more other bronzers. But yeah, I also love the highlights. So I've not used this one that much, but I actually have. To be fair, I have, because you can tell that I've started to hit pan on it, and I've started to hit pan on this other powder, but I've just been using this powder when I ran out of other powder, when I was in need of powder and I didn't have anything else. And I love the highlights. As you can tell, I've hit pan on the Slay My Life powder. Like I said in my last makeup video, I love this one because it was a mixture of 2 different highlighters. It was like a split one. So one side it was a gold highlight, and on the other side it was more of a champagne-y highlight, and I love being able to like mix the 2 together, especially now there's not a lot there. It also has 2 highlights in it. One is called Limited Edition and one is called Angel Face. I love Imogination's names because they all relate to how her quirkiness and her personality. Yeah, so those are 2, you can't really see it on the camera, the lights are kind of making it a bit bright, but they're 2 like bright, more white highlights, whereas those are more gold ones. I prefer a gold highlight for like my cheek highlight, but I like to sometimes on my brow bone use the lighter highlights, or in my inner corner sometimes I use that highlight. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. So the next palette, number 5, is it 5? No, it's number 6. Number 6 is a little mini Revolution palette, which I got a few months ago again. I've not used it that much, but I really like the colours in it. I love the lilac, I love the pink, and I love the gold in it as well, and the shimmer, So I love all of those. And again, I can use this one in the autumn months and use the silver glitter on top of it to make an autumnal look. And I just also think it's a really little handy palette to take away. It's so small, it'll fit in your pocket, like it's tiny, but if you're going somewhere for just a few nights, it's a perfect little size. And it doesn't come with a mirror, so that's the only downfall about it. But I also have a hand mirror which I take away in most places with me, so that I'd be fine with that. So I think it's really handy. I think this one was actually a free gift when I ordered my stuff, but I think it was worth like about £6, or maybe even less than that, maybe £5, or maybe even less than that, I can't remember, but it was about that anyway. So I think it's a really handy little palette to keep and have with you, especially for travel. Number 7. Number 7 is another SOPH palette, but it is a highlight. This one is yeah, the highlight palette. This one, you can tell this one I've had for ages because the actual plastic cover, this is actually broken, this is snapped, and it has been well loved. As you can tell, this gold shimmer here is completely gone. Like, I wish at one point that they did these in like separate just individuals, because I loved this gold. This gold I used to death until it was absolutely gone. Like, even you can tell, like even in the corners, it's like it's gone. Again, I like this one as well, it's not too bad, but I would say that I didn't love all of them. I did, and I have had a go at using pretty much all of these shades, but obviously these two here are slightly too dark for me as a highlight, I'd say. But I have used the pink and the more purpley ones, these two. But again, I've only really used them on like special occasions, or if I needed something to be like bright, or like for a festival or something like that, I found them handy. And that one, yeah, I need to use some of these again, but I think I have had them for so long they've started to get a bit dirty. So I would say I've probably got most of my use out of this palette, which is a shame because I loved it. I think it was about £6 or £8, so it was worth the money, and I love it. And I wish that they would bring out an individual in this colour, but I'm sure I could get something very similar from Revolution. But so yeah. Number 7 is another SOPH one. As you can tell, I love my SOPH palettes, and this was the first SOPH palette. It looks a bit grubby because that's how old it is. This one was just, yeah, the first SOPHX palette. It hasn't got a specific name. And this is the palette. There's definitely, again, a few shades that I've used and loved and hit pan on. I loved this. These ones didn't actually have any colour names. This is actually so old that they didn't have colour names back there. I've hit pan on this, I'd say, like a dark golden colour. And then this pink one, which I still love this pink now. I love putting it on top of like dark, like today I haven't used it today, but I would use it on top of pink and things like that, or on top of like a cherry colour or something. What's the word? Berry, not cherry. So yeah, this is another love palette, but because it's quite old, I don't use it so much now, so I didn't put it in the top 5 because I haven't used it in a long time. But I'm going to try and get some more love out of it over the autumnal months, because it does have a lot of colours which are very autumnal and very fitting for the next couple of months. I just remembered that I actually have 11, so it's actually 11. I just got confused, like 8. I was like, I have 3 left. There's 11, not 10, because I have 11 Revolution palettes. The next one is another newbie, not a newbie, actually I've had it longer than the Friends one, but I've had it for a few months, and it is the ROXI blush palette. I've never actually ever had a blush palette because I'm not that much of a blush person. I've not actually got any blush on today. I just put it on maybe like a couple of times a week if I'm fancying it. So yeah, I've not hit pan on any of these yet because they are new to me, but my favourite one is probably this shade down here. These don't have any shade names. but it's number 5. Number 5 is probably my favourite. And then I love the peach ones. I have also though, what I love about this is that if you're not going to use it for blush, you can use it as eyeshadow. I definitely used this number 2. Number 2? I think it's number 2. No, it's number 3. Number 3 I have used on my eyes before as an eyeshadow, and again you could use any of these on your eyes as eyeshadow, so it doubles up as a blush palette and also an eyeshadow palette, so I love about that. And again, this one was, I think it was £8. Number 9 is another ROXI palette. I've not actually used this one. When I tested the other ROXI palette on my channel, I meant to go and do a video for this palette as well, but I never got around to it. This is the palette. It's super pretty, and I definitely think, I keep saying very similar things, I know I'm kind of like talking a lot, but I think I'll get a lot of more use out of this one in the autumn months because they have a lot of autumnal kind of shimmers. All the berry colours will be very good, all the pinks and all the berries will be great for autumn, and all the shimmers. It's got a lot of lovely shimmers in it. So yeah, I love the colours. They're called like, and the colours are very autumnal, I'd say. Well, some of them are like Iconic, Boo, Yas, Pumpkin, Shook, Cookie, Gingerbread, Firework, Honey, Unicorn, Cola, Ember, Cranberry, Ariel, Sunset, Inspire, Mars and Draco. So some of those colours are very autumnal, even though they weren't supposed to be autumnal. I think that's just Roxy's favourite things, that all the things that she loves, like all those autumnal things. So yeah, I'd say that's number 9 because I haven't used it much, but I'm going to get some use out of this very soon. And number 10 is another one which was free. This one is, obviously the packaging is very different to this one because this was the chocolate bar palette. This one was when I got my packaging, because I spent over a certain amount, I got some free products. This one again was free, so I got this. Ooh. And I love this one. Again, this is a very autumnal palette. I've not used it much. I've used it about once so far. So I want to get some more use out of this over the autumnal winter months because it has some lovely gold shimmers in it and some lovely browns to make like a smoky eye. So yeah, that's number 11. Did I say 10? It's number 11 because I've not used it. So yeah, those are all of my Revolution palettes, and that's my little review of what I think of them and how much I love them, which one I've used the most, blah blah blah. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this video. Let me know if you have any of these palettes, which one's your favourite. Would you have categorised these any different? Would you have done it like, you might find that my number 11 could be your number 1. Everyone has different preferences and everything, obviously. So yeah, let me know in the comments what palettes you have, if you have any of these, or let me know any other palettes that you think I should invest in. I really do not need any more palettes because I have 11, and that's not even all my palettes. I have a couple others that aren't Revolution. So my eyeshadow obsession is definitely full and don't need any more, not until like spring at least. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye guys!